Welcome back to another video. This will be regarding Blender and 3ds Max, but I have installed the newer versions. So for Blender it will be version 4.1. Let me start that. So we have Blender 4.1. And for 3ds Max we're gonna have the newer version 2025. Now let's take a look at the RAM usage when importing OBJ files. I will use the same object. So the helicopter model over here, the air rescue helicopter, we're gonna see that the file size will be quite high for an OBJ. And let's see how fast those will load and which software will use the most. As we can see over here, Juan loaded the same model and it took 7 gigabytes of RAM. But also there are some size problems regarding the model, since Blender will load OBJ files larger, so we need to scale those down. Let's check the resource. So as you can see over here, we have Blender that currently uses 1 gigabyte, and we have 3ds Max here, but this hasn't started yet, since we had that heads up that the color management has changed within the newer version. Let's see, by default with both softwares, just with the default, we're gonna see that Blender will only use 1 gigabyte and 3ds Max will go beyond 2.7, as we can see over here. Now let's check the loading speed. I will start initially with Blender, so I will go to File, Import. The file format is OBJ, so I will go for Wavefront OBJ, and I have that within the download folder. This will be the helicopter. So we see the file size will be 1 gigabyte for that, and I will have that imported. And let's check the RAM usage. We see that Blender has started to use quite a lot, so somewhere around let's say 8 gigabytes, and we have the model loaded. Again, we have the same problem with the size. What we can do, we can go within the view, we can change the end in order to visualize everything, and at the end we just need to scale this down. So select the helicopter, press S for scale, and scale it out by 0.001. Afterwards press the comma button and this will be the correct size. So we see over here we need to scale it down by 0.001 in order to have it at the right scale. Afterwards we can have this also rotated if you want to. You can select the axis, let's say minus 90 degrees, and we're gonna see that the model will load like this. I will just delete the default cube. So this has loaded quite fast, as we can see, and it will use around 8.5. Let's check 3ds Max. So by default Max uses a lot more resources, but let's have that import as well. So File, Import. We will go for the import option. Afterwards I will go, let's see, onto the downloads folder. So downloads, we have that, and we're gonna have that open. We can set the scale over here, but I will leave it like this. We're gonna see the polygon count over here. Afterwards we're gonna hit import. Now regarding the loading speed, maybe Blender has loaded this a little bit faster. So we see building the normals, 6 gigabytes, 7. And after the model has been loaded, we're gonna see that 3ds Max actually will only use 5 in this case. So this is why I consider that 3ds Max is a little bit more optimized, and we see that this will move at a good rate. And again, we have the possibility to do the rotation or to do the scaling and so on. Let me know in the comment section what is your opinion regarding this. I still consider that 3ds Max for OBJ file will be a little bit better, but overall Blender I think has the upper edge, mainly because it is free, and that's really important. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this kind of content. I will position animation with a like and subscribe over here at the bottom. I will also put a video on the left side and a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.